Combined newsrooms in Eugene, Roseburg, and Coos Bay. Kval News at 6 starts now.
The city of Eugene approved 2 safe sleep sites for homeless people. The sites are located at West 2nd Avenue and Garfield Street and the Chase Commons Park. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Fernandez.
I'm David Walker. This comes after city council meetings were held to resolve illegal camping issues in Eugene. KVAL's Angelina Dixon is joining us tonight. She's live at 2nd and Garfield with the details.
David and Jacqueline, this site will provide a space for homeless individuals to legally park trailers and sleep in tents, while other approved location will provide shelter. But this is just the beginning of a process to locate additional sites throughout the city.
You know, as we become aware of and can vet more sites and bring those back to council for their consideration and approval in the future.
There are more safe sleep sites coming in the future. For now, Chase Commons Park and Garfield and West 2nd Avenue are set to hold several homeless individuals as safe sleep sites. Chase Commons will provide 20 Conestoga huts, while the Garfield location can hold up to 60 people. Also, a rest stop site has been added to the St. Vincent de Paul location on Highway 99 that could serve up to 12 people at a time. These sites will have social service providers to ensure the sites are clean and mitigate any concerns. Campers must adhere to rules such as no drug use. This is a resolution to the legal camping issue in Eugene.
Ultimately, you know, camping in the city is illegal. So if folks aren't willing to follow those rules, then there are consequences to that. But ultimately, our goal is to make sure everybody knows they can be in a safe legal space. And we're working to make that happen.
We visited Chase Commons Park Thursday, where 2 trailers are parked already, and spoke to a resident who lives nearby.
I guess we'll just have to see how it goes, you know? That's the whole thing. Right now, nothing's being done, and it really does create a mess when you just have like a line of cars parked here that are, you know, stay for a week or 2 weeks.
Russell says his only concern is drugs and trash in the area.
And the 2 sites will be up and running in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Reporting live tonight in Eugene, I'm Angelina Dixon. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Angelina. And this just came into the newsroom. We do have a traffic alert tonight. Eugene police are advising travelers to avoid eastbound I-105 at the Coburg Road exit. All eastbound lanes are closed due to a crash involving at least 4 vehicles. To wildfire coverage now, some good news from the front lines of the Bootleg fire. Fire crews are getting a better handle on the flames. According to fire officials, for the first time since the blaze ignited, portions of the southern line are now completely secured. That area is now being patrolled to make sure it's safe. Next, a majority of the resources will focus on the fire's north side. The Jack fire burning out of Douglas County remains at 55% containment. The fire is currently more than 19,000 acres. Firefighters continue to successfully keep the fire perimeter within controlled lines.
Campfires are now banned in all of the Oregon state parks and state-managed forests east of I-5. That even includes designated campfire areas. Portable cooking stoves or propane lanterns are allowed. The Department of Forestry is monitoring fire conditions west of the interstate as well and will likely expand the ban later this summer. Take a look at this, a map of drought conditions across the country. More than 2/3 of the western United States dealing with extreme or exceptional drought. The dark orange and red, that's the highest level in recorded history. 27% of Washington state now seeing extreme conditions. Just last week, the state had no exceptional drought on record.
And David, taking a closer look at Oregon now, 90% of the state qualifies as severe drought. More than 50% of the state faces extreme drought, and almost 17% of the state is experiencing exceptional drought. And that, of course, is the worst category. Governor Brown declared a drought in 19 counties. Drought declaration requests from Coos and Lane counties are still pending.
And with a little relief from the drought in sight, I don't think so. Doesn't look like it's going to rain much.
Not here, but it is going to be rainy in certain parts of the country that desperately need it, that are almost at worse standing than us. It's the desert Southwest. Here's a live look over Phoenix, Arizona this evening. You can kind of see those gray skies is still residing overhead with a light rainfall off in the distance. Some of the hills actually kind of difficult to see over the past hour or so. And that's all due to the monsoon season that's setting up. Everywhere that you see the red polygons, those are flash flood warnings extending all the way from the state of California up to Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. So the setup for a monsoon is basically a change in the winds. As a high pressure system sits over the Four Corners region, a low off over California helps to pull in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean, and that's what's helping to increase the rain potential. But we're going to see a significant amount of rain just to the south and east of us, anywhere from about a ½ inch to a full inch in southern parts of Colorado, but just to the east of Phoenix, 3 to 6 inches over the next 48 hours is a possibility. Unfortunately, our number of days without rainfall continues to grow, close to 40 for the Umpqua Valley. We'll discuss what's in store for us coming up in my full forecast.
In coronavirus coverage, Oregon is seeing a direct correlation between low vaccination rates and increased case rates, and the Delta variant is surging across the state. 92% of the thousands of cases in June were from people who weren't fully vaccinated. The state is asking county leaders to call on their communities to get their shots. They're urging people who aren't vaccinated to wear masks and socially distance. On the other hand, for those who are vaccinated, they say science and data shows it's still safe for activities like get-togethers with friends.
As I heard a health officer say earlier this week, if you're not vaccinated and you live in a community where vaccination rates are low, it's not a question of whether you'll get COVID-19. It's only a question of when. So once again, my message to county leaders with high infection and low vaccination rates is take action now. Urge residents in your communities to get vaccinated.
Of those who died of COVID and were vaccinated, state health leaders say they tended to be older and had underlying medical conditions. Those people account for just 1 in 10 cases. 9 in 10 cases are people who have yet to get their shots or are not fully immunized.
We have some new information tonight on what school could look like this fall. The goal is for the students in Oregon to get back into school 5 days a week. There will still be precautions. The Oregon Department of Education released their guidance today. While decisions will ultimately be left up to the districts, the state is recommending anyone, that includes unvaccinated students, wear masks indoors and social distance at least 3 feet.
New at 6, while Southwestern Oregon Community College in Coos Bay won't be requiring COVID vaccinations, there is one exception. Student athletes are the only group at SWOCC that will have to be vaccinated. The college tells us that's because student athletes will be competing and traveling. Class formats are still subject to change, but the current plan is to resume in-person classes, research, and extracurricular activities. Student housing will also be run at a more normal capacity, and there will be no required quarantine to return to campus.
Meanwhile, Lane Community College announced today COVID-19 vaccinations will be required for students and staff. They'll need to verify their vaccination status starting with fall term unless they have a medical or non-medical exemption. LCC is the only community college in Oregon with a vaccine requirement. LCC is offering vaccines through the Student Health Clinic on campus.
The 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games is set to open tomorrow. It was a festive mood today surrounding the National Stadium, where the opening and closing ceremonies will take place. Local residents have a split opinion on the Games, though. In a recent poll, 68% of people expressed doubt about the ability of Olympic organizers to control the spread of coronavirus. 55% say they oppose the Games moving forward. 87 Olympic-related personnel have tested positive for COVID-19 already.
And while the Olympics start tomorrow, some people are still dealing with ticket issues from the Olympic trials for track and field in June. KVAL's Keely McCormick was looking into that today, and she joins us here in the studio. Keely, what did you find out about this delay?
Well, David, now it's affecting people financially. I spoke to one man from Louisiana. His family bought tickets back in 2019 to watch their son compete. With the ever-changing COVID rules and regulations, Tracktown USA gave people the option of a full refund, but this family hasn't seen that money, and now it's creating financial issues.
She's stressing right now because their hot water heater broke in June, and she put it on that credit card, and she was really hoping that by the end of June, the money would have been back on there so she could cover the hot water heater.
His mother's waiting for $1,600 because she put the Olympic trial tickets on her credit card and still hasn't received a refund. Pedigo told me he received an email with the option to keep the tickets or get a full refund. He filled out the refund form but never received a confirmation email. That's when he began to reach out.
They kept saying by the end of June, you should be seeing your refund by the end of June. And so I just waited.
Now we're nearing the end of July and Pedigo wants to see that money back in his mother's account. Michael Riley, the CEO of Tracktown USA, explains the wait time.
We've had about 3,500 requests for refunds, and all of those refunds have to be processed manually. And it's just taking a long time to work our way through that list.
The high volume is what's slowing them down, and the refunds are actually being processed by the Duck Ticket Office because they were the agency selling the tickets, not Tracktown USA.
All the funds have been returned to the athletic ticket office, so it's really a matter of this point of just mechanically working the way.
He told me they're 1/3 of the way through the refund request right now. Pedigo at a frustrating fork in the road. He told me he loves Tracktown USA and has been to Eugene 3 times in the past month, but he wants his mom to get the money back.
My mom spent $1,600 on tickets that they weren't able to honor. They should have just refunded it right away.
Now, when I spoke to Michael, the CEO of Tracktown, I explained the Pedigo story to him. He said if refunds are causing financial issues, to contact tickets at gotracktownusa.com. They'll try to work directly with those people. For others still waiting to see that refund, Riley says just keep waiting, it will come. They've brought on more staff to help pick up the pace. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, Keely, thank you. Unemployment offices in Oregon are open for business again. The offices were closed for in-person visits for 1.5 years due to COVID. Yesterday, 36 people showed up at the Roseburg office for assistance. The offices in Lane and Coos County are also open. Help is still available virtually, but if you'd like to visit an office, you're advised to make an appointment to save time.
There are a record number of job openings in the United States, even while 9 million Americans were unemployed last month. Some economists blame the extended pandemic unemployment benefits, saying people can make more money if they don't get a job. But Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo disagrees. She says the real problem for companies is finding people with the right skills.
I don't know if I would call it a shortage per se. I would say there's a skills gap. What I hear all the time is from companies, we are ready to hire, but people need to have the skills. They need digital skills, cybersecurity skills, data skills, cloud computing skills.
Raimondo says Congress included $500 million in the American Rescue Plan to help with skill development with apprenticeship and job training. The money is part of a $3 billion package of grants.
State Representative Gary LEIF of Roseburg died today at 64 years old. According to Roseburg Mayor Larry Rich, LEIF was battling cancer for at least 6 months before his death. Gary LEIF was beloved in the community and described as inclusive when others were being divisive. Friends called him a trustworthy person, a great listener, and an even better family man.
He's going to be missed by a lot of people in the community, and wherever Gary went, he always had a smile on his face, and he was always a friendly person and very easy to talk to.
The local GOP will meet tonight to discuss candidates to fill his position. On August 6th, the Oregon Republican Party will hold a convention where the Douglas, Josephine, and Jackson County commissioners will meet to vote on LEIF's replacement. Coming up on Kval News, inmates fighting drug addiction. That story in our Addicted America series on the other side of the break.